Hey everybody, it is Wednesday. Yes, it is Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining me. We are going to talk today about the many wonders of face massage. Face massage is an amazing thing that you can do for yourself or for a loved one. I think our faces are often neglected, especially when we're feeling stressed out and crazed. But actually, giving yourself a little rub around the eyes and around the jaw can be an incredible way to relieve tension. It's also a technique that you can do on yourself really well, okay? So I'm going to do this demonstration as a self-massage, but what I want to make clear is that it's also super easy to do all of the things I'm going to show you guys on a loved one. So towards that end, I want to briefly introduce two of my favorite people in the world, Aniki, who I am co-isolating with, and my daughter Kitsune. So they have graciously, generously donated their faces for the next minute because I want to just make clear how easy it is to transfer these techniques to someone else and to yourself. Okay, so just so that we're all clear when we start out, when you are working on another person doing a face massage, obviously you're going to wash your hands and, blah, blah, blah. If you want to trim your nails, that can be nice, although it's not essential, okay? But then the most important part is that you get comfortable yourself, okay? So I'm going to suggest that you sit cross-legged like this, so that you can very easily move your body and use those strokes, okay? Or if it's comfortable, you can sit on your knees in a kneeling position so that you can do those strokes nice and easily. Or if neither of those are comfortable, you can have them lie on a bed, again at the corner of the bed, the same way I talked about for the feet massage work, okay? Have their head be at the corner of the bed, and then you sit in a chair directly behind them so that your legs are straddling that corner of the mattress, okay? And then you'll see every technique that I'm going to show you on your own face can be done on somebody else, okay? So what you'll see when I'm working on my own face is that my hands are often faced down, right? My arms are in a relaxed position and we're coming across the face like this. When you're working on someone else, especially someone as beautiful and brave and strong as these two ladies, you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to keep your hands in a comfortable position facing towards you, and then you're going to do those nice, easy strokes, okay? So you can choose. You can practice these techniques on yourself right now, or if you have a willing loved one around, you can ask them to lie down. This work is great with kids. It's incredibly relaxing, really nice if they are anxious or in need of going to sleep, okay? But at the same token, don't be surprised if they, squirm a little bit and fidget and only want to do it for 2 minutes. That's okay too, all right? So speaking of which, these two ladies were on a trip to London when I asked them to come in and lie down for a minute. So I don't want to get in the way of their journeys, okay? So you guys can go back to London now in your car, okay? And I'll join you. Oh, this is London?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Okay. Well, do you want to stay here? Okay, you're welcome to. I'm going to do some massage techniques on my face, so you can just hang out here and watch if you want to, okay? You want to say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Hi. Yep. Yep. It's true. They are that cute. So, friends, here we go. What you're going to see here is that all of these techniques are essentially the same, okay? It's very, very easy. I'm gonna move these guys so I can get a little closer to you. Good. It's, yeah, you are. It's very, very easy to do these techniques on yourself, just like it's easy to do them on a loved one, okay? So we're going to just practice a few very simple principles that we can then apply anywhere on the face and the scalp, okay? See, I shaved just for you guys, huh? Bald joke. All right, same as with the feet, I recommend not using oil or other lubricant on the face. The face has its own oils, right? It has all it needs. That said, our hands are often so dry these days, right, that if you're feeling really dry, just put a tiny bit of cream on and on your own hands, and that'll be more than enough, okay? Do you want to say goodbye, Aniki? Are you going to go back out to go to London? Okay, say goodbye to everybody. Bye-bye. Okay, well, you can stay here if you want. So, what we are going to do for basically all of these massage techniques is to... Okay, you can go out. That's great. You want to say bye-bye?
Bye-bye.
Big plans, big plans. We're going to start right at the midline of the body, and we're going to sweep outwards, usually out and up, okay? This allows us to focus our awareness on all of the muscles, the amazing muscles that allow us to, you know, have all these incredible facial expressions that us humans can make, right? Those muscles work hard all the time, especially when we're, you know, these days doing this all the time, okay? So these simple sweeping strokes allow us to contact those muscles and literally smooth them out, for lack of a better term, right? We're just very simply gliding across them, but the key is that we're not trying to make anything happen. We're not trying to force the skin to do anything. We're not trying to force the muscles to relax. So I want you guys all to start by putting your phone down in a spot where you can see me, but you have both hands free, okay? And then whether it's on yourself or on your loved one, right? You're just going to place all 4 of your fingers, forget about your thumb for now, right? At the center of your forehead, okay? And so with your pinky fingers right along your eyebrows, right? You're just going to sink your fingers, creating a nice, deep, but not painful pressure against the center of your forehead. And you're just going to slowly think of lengthening in both directions out towards your ears. Remember, there's no rush here. This is actually better if it's slow. So you're coming all the way across the forehead and then to the temples. Oftentimes you will instantly feel, right, a little more pressure or tension when you get to the temples. So you can go ahead and just make simple circles around the temples. If you want, you can continue that broad sweep all the way across to the back of the skull, okay? There's no right way to do this, and frankly, there's no wrong way to do this as long as it feels good. But this broad 4-fingered sweep is a very easy way to begin. Then, after that broad sweep, you can get more specific. So chances are the area right around your eyebrows is a little tense, a little tender, okay? So you can take just one finger, your pointer finger, or your pointer and your middle fingers, start right at the top of your nose, and just gradually do that same sweep out. Now, as you do this, think of tipping your head forward ever so slightly so that you are resting the weight of your head on your fingers, okay? Because we don't want to give a face massage to ourselves and then be holding the muscles in the back of our neck so tightly, right, that we're holding ourselves up, because then we're not actually really relaxing our whole head, okay? So as you're doing this, think of finding that position, right, sinking in and making contact to the area, and then just letting your head drop forward an inch or two, okay? Making sure that you're not holding tension in the back of the neck. Just think of, right, flopping ever so slightly, like the scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz, okay? So, with this sweep along the eyebrows, you also can come nice and slowly all the way across. With every one of these strokes, I'm thinking of the skin and the muscles guiding how fast I'm moving, rather than me trying to go across like that, right? Because that's going to feel pokey and pinchy and not all that fun, okay? But if you're just sinking in and just ever so slightly thinking of spreading your hands apart from one another, then the muscles in your face are going to demonstrate, are going to show you how slowly they want you to move. Okay? I'm very pleased to see that no one is writing any comments right now, because hopefully that means that you are using both hands to do something far more important than tap on that keyboard. Okay? So, bravo to us. So as we stroke across the eyebrows, we can then come to the very side of the eye, okay? Here too, there's a little depression, right? Just, it's not the big temple part proper, right? But it's just behind the bones of the eye, okay? These also can be a beautiful spot to give a little rub and give a little love, okay? Again, you should do this for as long as feels good and do it as slow as you want. Remember to think of keeping your head sunk or flopped forward, and then your fingers will gradually slide towards the tops of your ears. And again, you can take this all the way back as far as is comfortable, depending on how much hair you do or do not have. And slowly release. Now we come to maybe my favorite part of the face massage. We just went across the whole forehead and then across the eyebrows in particular. Now we're going to go underneath the eyes, okay? So once again, we're just going to take either the pointer finger or the pointer and the middle finger, whatever feels comfortable for you, and we're just going to make contact on the bridge of the nose, slowly slide off the nose, and think of gradually spreading the arms, spreading the hands away from each other ever so slightly, and just letting your body demonstrate that speed that it needs. This can be an incredibly tender spot, especially if we have allergies or other sinus issues, or if we're just tired parents who look like this in the morning. And so take your time here, again, as many fingers as feels comfortable, and then you'll sweep up again to that little dimple, that little opening right behind the eye bones, and you can do some more circles once again here, right? The sides of the face will never complain about these circles, okay? So that sweep was just under the eye itself. Now we're going to come down and sweep across the cheekbone itself, okay? So we can see what that feels like. So here, for the previous ones, we started at the bridge of the nose. Now we're going to come a little bit down closer to the center of the nose, drop off the nose, so we're basically just above the nostril here, okay? Same thing, one finger or two fingers, and then tipping your head forward and slowly sweeping across. Here I find that it almost feels painful, but it's a delicious kind of painful, because there's so much tension here, as well as various sinuses and other internal systems, right, that pass through here. And so just that easy sinking can feel quite intense, but can also bring a great deal of relief. So as you can see, my cheekbones are basically just above where I am sinking. I'm charting the bottom portion of those cheekbones, okay? And so soon my face will get even more distorted, right? As I'm taking the musculature all the way around the cheekbones. Good. And then you can come up. Good. Now here is one of the most important parts of the jaw, okay? As you completed that sweep around the cheekbones, right, before you get to the ear itself, okay, so stop a little bit before the ear, right around here, and then I want you to imagine that you're biting down into something. So clench your teeth, all right, and you'll feel a muscle pop out here. This is the masseter muscle, okay? So the masseter muscle is, per square inch, the strongest bone in the entire body. Sorry, the strongest muscle in the entire body, right? It's responsible for chewing everything that we eat. It's incredibly powerful, and as a result can carry incredible amounts of tension. So oftentimes a lot of the TMJ issues, the temporomandibular joint issues that people have, right, where they have pain or they have clicking or they're unable to open their mouths, there are many causes, but in almost all of them, the masseter is quite tight, okay? So it's a little muscle that comes from here down to the bottom of the jaw, and it's incredibly powerful, and also we're using it constantly. So as we do that bottom sweep all the way along under the cheekbone, right, as you continue to come under the cheekbone, you are on the masseter, okay? So you're now in the perfect spot to massage the masseter, okay? So here what you're going to do is I want you to imagine your fingers, whichever ones touch, okay? So for me, it's basically, again, the pointer and the middle, okay, finger. You can use your ring finger also if you want to, it doesn't matter. But you want to think of being on that muscle, so clenching your teeth, feel where it bulges, and that's where you want to be, okay? And then bring your arms out so that your forearms are parallel with one another, right? And then just imagine that you're bringing your fingertips together through your skull. Does that make sense? So you're just gradually sinking your pressure on both sides so that your fingers are coming towards each other. Oh yeah. Oh my God, you guys. This is intense. It's also really hard to talk while you're massaging your masseter muscle. So, you can just hold here for a good long time, okay? Remember, this muscle is working all the time and it needs all the love that you can give it. So just hanging out here for a minute or two is dreamy. Okay, again, this is another spot that can feel a little bit painful, but we want it to be a useful pain, a delicious pain, right? Rather than one that makes your skin crawl and your shoulders clench up, okay? If you're feeling that, then just slowly exhale and lighten your touch a little bit, and then sink back in till you're at an easier spot, okay? So here, as you sink into the masseter muscle and feel that pressure that feels productive, you can just hang out there, okay? Or you can increase the fun here. And so in that case, what you're going to do is hold this exact position, right? Feel your jaw in a, pretty neutral position probably. And then you're going to incredibly slowly open your jaw. Take about 10 seconds, right? So really slowly as you press in, just like that. Opening your jaw as wide as is comfortable, again, without feeling too intense or painful. As I'm guessing all of you have just felt, that is wild, right? What you're doing is you're sinking your hand into the muscle, and then you are stretching the muscle against the pressure from your hand. So it's an incredibly powerful massage technique that we can use in any part of the body, but this is a good example in this really tight spot, right? So you're basically opening or lengthening the masseter muscle with a little bit of pressure into the muscle from your fingertips, okay? As you can imagine, again, that's something you can do for a good long time. You can open very slowly, right? But then just as important, you want to close very slowly, keeping that same pressure, and then so you're coming back to neutral, maintaining that pressure as you close your mouth, okay? And sometimes as you're doing this work, you'll find that you slide down to the jaw, okay? That's fine, because that's the next thing we're going to do. So let's slide down to the base of the jaw, okay? Everything before has been sweeping from the midline of the body out to the edges. So for this last technique, we're going to do the reverse. We're going to start on the edge and we're going to come into the midline. So you're in that position, right? Forearms parallel to each other. You've sunk into the masseter. You've come down to the bottom of the masseter, which is right on the jaw. Okay, and then you're just going to let your arms flop down to the sides of you, wherever is comfortable. You're going to use your thumbs now to slide underneath the jaw, okay? You don't want to be in the throat because that can be pretty tender and intense, but you want to just scoop underneath, okay? You will feel, right? It's, again, pretty intense because these are muscles that we don't often work on. But here we have this opportunity to basically be holding our jaw, right, as if it was a sandwich, okay? And you're just applying a little bit of pressure both with your fingers and with your thumbs and letting that pressure bring you down towards your chin. Nice and slowly. Good. As you do that slow swipe down to the midline, you can also make gentle circles with that swipe, or you can just come down in one long line. Okay, whatever feels best for you or for your partner. So, coming all the way down to the chin and making sure to continue to use those thumbs to just gently sink into the muscles underneath the chin. Again, you can just do gentle circles here if you want. Okay? Note that if you're working on someone else, as you get down to the jaw, this is one of the only spots where the hand position will change. So if you're working on another person, right, you'll be using your fingers underneath the jaw, okay? But the concept is still the same. So you come all the way down here, just as with the sweeps out. With this sweep in, you do it as many times as feels good. You really want to give your client that slow, easy feeling of relaxation. We don't need to rush anything here, right? Our lives are already rushed enough. So when you have this chance, when you carve out this moment to work on a loved one, to work on yourself, just give it the time that it needs, letting these muscles sink and soften and release as they are ready. And then, last but not least, if you like the ears, let's use those ears, okay? For people who are working on themselves, I suggest just these little clapping hands, okay? And you're just going to hold the top of your ear between your finger pads, your fingerprints, and the base of your palm. So think of clasping the top of the ear and then just gradually pulling up towards the ceiling and pulling behind you and pulling sideways. Some people love this. For some people it's like, whatever. So you go at your own pace and feel how good this can feel, okay? This is the top of the ear, right? Oh yeah, that feels really good right there. Then, just as important is the ear lobe. So here you're going to do the exact same thing, right? But you can just take that, remember that puppet face that we've made in the past, right? So your thumb against the curve of your forefinger, right? You're just going to take that little mouth right there and hold your earlobe with that mouth. And then you're just going to gradually lengthen in all directions. You can think of sinking down towards the ground. You can think of sinking out to the sides. You can think of sinking in directly in front of you, okay? And then you can also just make gradual circles with all of those movements. That's it. And then you can always just curl around and bring your fingers up and all the way around your scalp, all the way from skull to forehead, or all the way from forehead to skull. The right stroke is whatever feels good. The key here is to give yourself a brief moment of time in this incredibly uncertain moment in our lives to just focus on these smallest muscles in our body. And if we give ourselves and our loved ones just a little bit of focus, then everything else is just a little bit more possible. Thank you so much for joining. As always, let me know if you have questions or if you have thoughts about what you want to see in our next installment, which will be Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Until then, stay safe, stay sane, and stay in touch. Thank you.